Oh, I'm doing my favorite thing while in Paris, having an ice cream at Botillon and taking a walk through the Ile Saint-Louis. Ile means island, and there are two of them here on the Seine. This one is known to be one of Paris's most enchanting destinations. And that's because even though we're really close to the crazy city center, the Ile Saint-Louis has remained unspoiled, untouched. There are no monuments to see, no museums to visit, just tiny restaurants, tea rooms, galleries, and shops. I'm very lucky. I've actually been to Paris a number of times, so I thought for our trip together, we would experience the splendor of Paris, you know, the magic, the luxury, the things that just make us swoon. Okay, I might have arranged that. Paris is a devastatingly romantic city, but there are people who have lost that loving feeling, and it is my belief that those people are Parisian drivers.
Oh, mais c'est pas vrai, un crétin, va!
Can you say anger management problem?
Quoi?
I mean, they're crazy, especially around the Arc de Triomphe, where 12 lanes feed a constant tornado of traffic. Now, of course, when you're here, you will want to visit one of Paris's major icons. And did you know that you could go to the top of it for one incredible view? Unfortunately, you have to cross that traffic. I'm kidding, there's a tunnel.
The Arc de Triomphe was commissioned by Napoleon himself. When it was finished in 1830, it was dedicated to the French army. The Arc has also been the home to the unknown soldier since 1920. Every night, veterans or soldiers ceremoniously rekindle its fire.
Oh, what a beautiful view of Paris. Oh. And you know, from up here, you really get a sense of the city's impressive layout. You have extra-wide boulevards that meet at intersections emphasized by beautiful monuments. The city is monumental, but not in a pompous kind of way. It has a delicateness, a beauty that you simply can't take your eyes off of.
Paris is divided into two parts by the River Seine. The two parts are known as the left and right bank. We're in the right bank at this moment. But Paris is also made up of 20 districts called arrondissements. The Arc de Triomphe is actually the anchor point of 3 of them.
And that's the Champs-Élysées, the most famous street in all of Paris. It begins at the obelisk of the Place de la Concorde and makes its way here to the Arc de Triomphe. And even though we're in, one of the heavy touristed areas, this is and has always been a rallying point for not only Paris, but all of France. This is where the people gathered after they were liberated in World War II. It's where military troops march in victory. It's the end of the line for the Tour de France, so a very special street. And what do you say we go take a promenade? The Champs-Élysées, the grandest of the grand boulevards of Paris. Back in the day, this is where the wealthy built their mansions. They take long strolls, showing off their finery on the way to some fashionable cafe. So with that in mind, I've got to tell you, it's a bit of a disappointment. And it's only because there is so much commercialization. You know, we've got 10 lanes of traffic going at one time, and there is no strolling. See, people walk very fast. If you want to stroll, you're going to get knocked out of the lane. Also, the shops that you see, a lot of them, I have in my own town, so a bit of a bummer. However, once the initial welcome to the 21st century shock is done with, you do start to admire this avenue for its broadness, its beautiful architecture, and its long row of sycamore trees. And you realize that this is still a part of Paris not to be missed.
Something else on the Champs-Élysées not to be missed is La Durée. It's technically called a tea salon, but it's what's served with the tea that keeps people coming back.
They're just glistening under the warm light. You've got all the French classics, the croissant, the pain au chocolat, which is just bread with chocolate, lovely. Giant brioche palmiers. Oh no. Bonjour, madame. Bonjour, madame. Their stuff is beautiful.
Yes,
I can't decide. What do you recommend?
I recommend French kiss.
French kiss?
Yes. With passion fruit and vanilla.
And this is your favorite?
Yes.
And do you eat one of these every day?
Oh, yes.
Well, you stay very thin.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I know what I'm going to order. Merci.
Thank you.
Au revoir.
Madame.
Lingerie is so French in that everything about it, from the pastry to the decor to those perfect pistachio green boxes they package all their little sweets in, it's all rich and decadent. And I was asking some French women how they stay so thin, and they had never heard of that saying, a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. So I think that's why they're thin. They don't have that stupid saying. Next, what's the connection between this Parisian landmark and a garter belt? Passport to Europe has the answer right after this.
We are enjoying Paris, France on a lovely late autumn day. Of course, Paris is known for its luxuries, but there are indulgences that will not cost you a dime, like taking a walk through the gardens. This is the Jardin des Tuileries. It's sort of their central park here. It used to be a royal garden, and then it opened up to the public in the 16th century, and it's been very popular ever since. This is the area that I'm staying in, the first arrondissement, and it's known as the heart of visitors' Paris, just because we are so central to everything you'd want to do here. When it comes to choosing a hotel in Paris, you certainly have your pick. Best thing to do is lock down the area you want to stay in and choose your hotel from there.
I'm staying at the timeless classic, the Hotel Regina.
Beautiful, isn't it? I chose the Hotel Regina because it had a really nice blend of elegance, comfortability, and friendliness. I knew I wanted a luxury hotel, but I didn't want anything over the top. I knew I wanted excellent service, but nothing snooty. And so just sort of feel like Goldilocks, and that this is just right. The Hotel Regina was built in 1900. If you look at the woodwork, that's in the Art Nouveau style, very fluid in a very decorative way. It's just Parisian.
Now you should know that luxury hotels in Paris start at around 300 euros a night. That's around 400 bucks. But remember, this trip of ours is about doing it up. There are, of course, less expensive rooms in Paris, but not in this area.
Welcome to my boudoir. This is a basic room here at the Hotel Regina. Fabulous, isn't it? I can't believe this is entry level. It's this perfect square and has wonderful details on the walls and the ceiling. If you look at the bathroom, plenty of space to walk around in, and there's a shower head. Most hotels in Paris have just a bathtub, so if you want that, specify you want a shower as well. So as anyone who has ever traveled to Europe knows, the jet lag is terrible. You arrive in the morning, your hotel room isn't ready until like 2, so by the time you get in here, you are grumpy. So it was with that terrible attitude that I walked out onto my balcony. And saw this amazing view. Oh, when I saw this, I'm not embarrassed to say, I cried. My heart swelled, the grumpiness disappeared, and I just thought, I'm in Paris. Unbelievable. Let me do a round of introductions. Over here, the Musée d'Orsay. We have ahead of us the gardens, and straight ahead, the Eiffel Tower, or as we like to say, the Eiffel. Now, my room is normally 380 euros a night, but since I'm visiting during low season, I negotiated them down to 250 euros. Low season is November 1st through March 31st. Yes, you can negotiate, and a view like this, no extra charge. Unbelievable. We are about to experience one of the greatest controversies in Paris. In fact, 300 of its writers, artists, and intelligentsia drew up a petition with this to say, "We, the lovers of the beauty of Paris, do protest in the name of French taste and endangered French art and history against the useless and the monstrous Eiffel Tower." What do they know? This symbol of France was designed by Gustave Eiffel in 1889, and while this certainly was his crowning achievement, did you know that he also designed the armature for the Statue of Liberty, as well as, and this one's completely out of left field, the hooking mechanism for the garter belt?
The tower has 3 levels, all accessible by separate elevators. In the summer, there can be as much as an hour's wait per level, but since I'm here in November, the off-season, it would take about 20 minutes to reach the top. When you come to the Eiffel Tower, make sure you bring your postcards because there's a post office on the first floor, and when you mail them here, you'll get a special Eiffel Tower stamp. Bonjour. May I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5? Okay, 5, please.
So 5 for yours.
And they'll get a special stamp?
Yes.
All right.
Merci. You're welcome.
Oh, so beautiful. We're on the 2nd level right now, and you can go all the way to the top. The view is actually better from here because Paris is such a flat, low-profile city. You actually see more of its character from this level. You've got a tough decision when it comes to the Eiffel Tower. You can come during the day, or you could come at night, and you can imagine how beautiful that is with all the twinkling lights. Also at night, the entire tower sparkles with thousands upon thousands of tiny white lights. But I don't need to come out for that, because I can see that from my balcony. Having breakfast in Paris, France, with my good friend Manuel here, and he has taken me to what is the most famous cafe in Paris.
And how exactly do you pronounce the name?
I knew he was going to say that.
Go ahead.
Well, Les Ducks Maggots, of course.
Alors, I'll try to be nice to you. it goes Les Deux Magots.
Les Deux Magots.
Voilà, soft and easy.
It's soft and easy. And I love the whole setup of the Parisian cafe, how all the chairs are faced out towards the street and we just sit there and people watch.
But then you have to know an important difference. When you are having a relaxed and easy time, you want to look at the street. In some cases, you want the street to look at you. And when you are thinking, discussing, negotiating, when you're being serious, then you can go inside. It's more expensive outside than inside. You know why?
Why?
Because the waiter has to walk more.
And we are having what's considered the traditional French breakfast.
It is the breakfast I had when I was a little child at holiday camp. It has everything. Café au lait, the baguette with the butter on it, and fabulous croissants. Note one thing. You have ordered from the waiter café crème, but my mom would have given me café au lait. It's just the same thing.
So why do you need two words?
Because the French never like simple things. Complicated is better.
So when I'm in the cafe, I order the crème. But if
Perfect.
I'm talking to my mom, I want the au lait.
Voilà, and I noticed that you've been to Paris before, no matter what you say, because I want the crème. Because this is exactly the shortening that the waiter is going to use. Ah, vous voulez un crème? You want a cream.
I want a
And
cream.
bingo,
I don't know
this
what
is
I want.
happiness.
In Paris, the metro isn't just a means for getting from point A to B, it's yet another way to experience the city's beauty. Some of the stations and their entranceways are absolute works of art.
Not all the station entrances are quite this extravagant. 87 of them are in this Art Nouveau style, with their flowing green steel frameworks and exotic glass awnings.
The quickest, easiest way to get around the city is using the metro, and wherever you are in Paris, you are near a station. In the stations, you're going to find these automatic teller machines, and they're a lot of fun. They're like video games. And when I press the button, look at this, you can scroll right down to the language of your choice. I'm going to pick English, and there we go. And then it tells me to insert the money. Jackpot! Okay, I got my ticket. Now don't forget to take your ticket because you're going to need this to get out of the next train station. If you don't, you're going to be stuck down here for the rest of your life. Like any train, you got to worry about your valuables, pickpockets, especially when the door is about to close, because that's when they make a run for it. And I know I'm kind of dressed nicely for a train, but just so you know, this is like a $10 ring, and this is fuzz, it's not fur. Now, I didn't take you to the Louvre, so I thought I'd bring you to the next best thing. The Louvre metro stop. Now, don't laugh. It is absolutely beautiful. And what you see are reproductions of statues, sculpture, artifacts from the Louvre. Now, this is just one of the many beautiful underground train stations here, and a popular thing to do is to take a sightseeing tour of them. So I thought we'd spend a few hours at the Musée d'Orsay. Stunning building, isn't it? It was built in the 1900s as a railroad station, and in the 70s it was scheduled to be demolished to make way for a hotel. Well, there was such an outcry from the Parisians that the building was ultimately saved and transformed into one of the most popular museums here in Paris.
Even though the Orsay is much smaller in size than the Louvre, what makes it so popular with visitors is its unsurpassed collection of Impressionist masterpieces. This is where you come to see Monet, Degas, Van Gogh, Cézanne, and Renoir. This is probably the most Paris-specific artist, Toulouse-Lautrec. He painted at the same time as the Impressionists, but as you can see, very different style. There are no pastel landscapes for old Toulouse. He was more fascinated with the underbelly of Paris, the people of the brothels, the cabarets, and of course, Moulin Rouge, where they danced a dance considered by most to be absolutely obscene. But through his paintings, Toulouse immortalized a very specific area of Paris where this shocking lifestyle took place. And still today, this area is one of the most popular destinations in Paris, Montmartre. And that's where we're going next, when Passport to Europe returns to Paris. I'm in the north part of the city of Paris in the hilltop area known as Montmartre. It seems a world away from the busy city below it, and my friend from the cafe, Manuel Tremont, is here to confirm its reputation.
So is it really true that all the great artists lived in this area?
Yes, this is exactly the place. We have Toulouse-Lautrec not very far from here. We have Renoir down there. We had Picasso. All these guys were here.
Why were they here?
Very simple. This is a cheap place to live. Plus, there was cheap wine. Now, cheap rent, cheap wine. What else can you ask for?
And here behind us we have...
Alors, behind us we have the windmill. There were 21 windmills in Montmartre. We have 2 left, and here is one of them.
Beautiful.
The windmills were originally used to grind the grain that went into making that wonderful French bread. This was also where the city's vineyards were located.
So this seems like a very popular place.
Yes, these are the steps of the Sacré-Cœur, the steps of Montmartre where everybody loves to join and meet and have an excellent time.
There's a lot of people smooching here. It's very romantic.
This is the place to smooch and have a date and have your next date and have the date of after the next date. This is the place to...
Can you blame him? I mean, look at that view.
Of course not. Ladies, look at that. How can they resist?
I know.
This is the place to pounce.
Did you bring any red wine? French bread? Cheese?
Tomorrow I promise.
Oh, and you call yourself French.
Oh.
I'm a sucker for a river cruise, so I wasn't going to miss the one in Paris. The Seine curves through this city, revealing one exquisite scene after the next, as you pass under one beautiful bridge after the other. And being on a boat, watching this beautiful city slowly pass you by, I don't know, the effect is just cinematic.
A river cruise is very easy to arrange. They run day and night, and the cruises range from a guided hour-long tour to one with an elaborate dinner. Bateau Parisien was recommended to me, and they depart right near the Eiffel Tower.
Paris is such a splendid city. It's majestic, it's opulent, and unmistakably feminine. You know, we have Los Angeles, Chicago, New York. These are all very masculine cities, but when you come here and you experience this grace and beauty, you realize why the city is so special. You don't just love Paris, you fall for her. If you want to learn more about what I did in Europe, talk about the show, or check out my photos and journal, log on to Travel Channel at discovery.com. See you there.